If you're looking for a key light that is big, soft, light, and bicolor, then I have one for you. The Intellytech Mega Litecloth 2.0. And this is also the light that I'm using for this YouTube setup right now, but I also used it on a lot of commercial work lately. And in this review, I want to tell you how it works and what I love about it. My name is Damien Cooper and welcome to Monkey Pixels. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the light itself. It's basically 6 1x1 flexible light mats stitched together. And the cool thing about it, it folds up to a 3x4.5 feet, which equals about 90 to 140 centimeters. But you can just fold it down and then it's not bigger than a 1x1 light mat. And that is pretty crazy if you think about how huge that light actually is. The power output of the Mega Litecloth is 300 watts, and that is roughly the equivalent of an Aperture 300D. And on top of that, it's also bicolor. And the cool feature about this is that it goes from 2700 Kelvin all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin. One of the coolest features of the light is that it only weighs about 2 kilograms, which equals around 4 point something pounds. So it's really easy to rig up above your subject or just carry it around. And that is a huge benefit to other lights that have the same power output because you can just rig it almost everywhere. The light also comes with optional diffusion and a honeycomb grid, and that is pretty cool because I like my light soft as well as having the ability to control the spill. On top of the light being bicolor, you also have some pre-programmed effects like lightning strobes as well as TV or candle lights. The control unit of the light also comes with an AC adapter, so you don't have different units for power as well as controlling the light. Granted, that thing is huge and it also does have a fan, but I will talk about this a little bit later. And that is pretty much all you need for this light. It also comes in a carrying bag on wheels, and this one is also really huge and a little bit too big for my liking, but it's really high quality. And if you want to use this to transport your light, then this is actually a good option. So now let's talk about how to assemble the light. The light comes with an intuitive fold-out frame, and that is pretty cool because you don't have to screw in anything, you don't have to assemble it. It's basically ready to go. You just unfold it, then you tighten it down, and there you have it. You have a really lightweight and sturdy frame. The frame also comes with a mounting option to the L bracket, which is also included, so you can mount it to a C stand, a light stand, and you can also tilt it and swivel it a little bit. As I already said in the intro, the light folds down to basically a 1x1 mat, and then after you unfold it, you just hook it up to your frame via some grommets that you can just attach to the hooks. Then the softbox or layer of diffusion you can also unfold, and it kind of works like one of these 5-in-1 reflectors that you can just in the right position fold down and then they just pop up. And that is also pretty convenient if you're traveling because it doesn't take up that much space. And that you just basically put on top of the light, and that's fairly easy too. If you want to control your spill a little bit more, then you use the included honeycomb grid, and that is also fairly easy to assemble. You just put it on top of the diffusion like you put the diffusion on the frame, and then you can also tighten it down with 2 Velcro straps on the side. When you're by yourself and you have to attach the light to the frame, it can be a little bit fiddly sometimes, but once you have attached the corners, then it's fairly easy going. Since the Mega Litecloth 2.0 is very large but also very lightweight, that makes for some easy mounting above your talent. And on a lot of situations, you don't even need a heavy-duty C-stand, and you can probably get away with a sturdy light stand and a boom pole in combination with 1 or 2 sandbags. I would still recommend using a really sturdy C-stand instead of a light stand, but if you're just using it as a key light as I'm doing right now, then a regular light stand is fine. It being so lightweight also allows you to get it into places where you could never get another light, especially when using the softbox, because you can basically just tape it against the wall and use it that way, whereas you would never be able to fit a regular light in. Now let's talk about the power unit. As I've already mentioned, that thing is pretty big, which usually shouldn't be an issue because it's just somewhere on the floor. The thing that you have to worry about a little bit though is that there is a fan. So you need to get it away from your microphone because otherwise the microphone might be able to pick it up. But since all the cords are very long, you could just basically put it on the end of the cord and then it's way way out of reach from your talent or from your microphone. So again, that shouldn't be an issue at all. It runs off regular AC power, but you can also power it via V-mount batteries. And you have one V-mount battery slot on either side of the unit. And you can use it vertically, or you can just lay it down flat on the floor. The menu system is nothing special, and I've seen that on plenty of other units as well. You basically press one button to toggle between the functions and menu options, and then you can dial it in via a wheel, either the color temperature or the strength of your light. The cool thing about that unit is that you have a blackout button, and that basically turns off the light without having to cut the power. So if you just want to see a before and after, or if you just want to shut off the light in between recordings, then you just press the blackout button and you don't have to cut the power. The light can also be controlled via an app, and unfortunately I was able to do this the very first time I tested it, but then every time I was on set I wasn't able to connect to the unit. It says that I'm connected, but it's not responsive. Sometimes it turned on and off when I press something, but overall I haven't really figured out the app. I also tried to reset the Bluetooth, it also didn't work. So working with the app was kind of frustrating, and I just resorted to using the control unit instead. So overall, I really do like that light, and especially because it's a really large light source that you can also get really close to your subject. Usually if I want to have a large light source like this, I shoot through a diffusion from a regular COB light, and that just gives me less output and I have more stuff, more C-stands. Here I have a large diffused light source that I can just put on one light stand and that's it. And that comes in really handy on bigger sets and when you have to move sets around all the time, and also it makes for easier carrying the entire light setup. I also don't want to work with non-bicolor lights anymore. Just being on set and not being able to adapt to your surroundings because your light can only do one color temperature has gotten me into trouble a couple of times in the past. Having a huge light source that I can also control the color temperature on is a must-have in my opinion on bigger productions. And therefore I can oftentimes create a scene that doesn't really look lit at all and it looks fairly natural, especially since we have a rectangular shape and it's very easy here to simulate a huge window, for example, and that also reflects in the catch light in the eye opposed to a round parabolic softbox, for example. Granted, the light is not the cheapest and it retails for about $2,000, but you can often get it on sale like I did for around $1,700, which is still a lot of money. But since this is a really large, powerful light source that is also bicolor with some built-in effects, I think it's totally worth it. And for me, this is the only key light that I will ever use in any of our commercial jobs, and I barely use anything else anymore. So there you have it. This was my review of the Intellytech Mega Litecloth 2.0. And if you found this review helpful, then please give it a thumbs up because it really helps the channel grow. Subscribe for more, and I hope to see you on the next one.